Have y'all ever done something before when you were younger that got you grounded till you were 18? So for me, I was always getting grounded when I was younger. And I wasn't even really that bad of a kid. My parents were just strict. But man, 2021, I jumped off the porch and I decided to do some bullshit. I got suspended from online school. Now you may be wondering, how do you get suspended from online school? And I'm gonna give y'all the whole breakdown right now. Make sure y'all really lock in. So a lot of schools, they did Zoom for their online classes, right? But my school, we did Google Meets. So there was many different things that you could do in these Google Meet. Me and my friends, we were constantly in here trolling. Now this could be a whole separate video, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but the trolling was immaculate. But for the main plot of this story, it starts with my friend. So basically my friend finds this educational YouTube video on how to use Google Classroom. And in this video that was made by my school, they use an email, right? It's just some random ass email, and then they have the password, right? And so you know how like the passwords had a little asterisk. He counts out all the individual asterisks and then he guesses the password to this account. To this day, I'm still baffled that my guy was able to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's impressive. So now we have this account, okay? So if you never used Google Meets before, basically you can share your screen. You don't have to be the teacher. You could be anybody in the class. You could share your screen on Google Meets. So what we do is we join the Google Meet on this account. Now I forget the exact name that the account had, but it looked like some administrator account. So the teachers weren't too skeptical. So we had two roles. I was in the chat, because Google Meets has a chat that you could type, and my mans was screen sharing. So what he did was he screen shared porn. It was some girl getting her back blown out in an Overwatch costume, that's what it was. And I'm in the chat just violating everybody. Like there were some people with their cameras on. I'm like, you fat bitch, turn your camera off, you ugly as shit, bitch ass nigga. So after we get done in that one Google Meet, we go into another one. This time my man screen shared gay porn, and I was still in the chat doing my thing. People were posting about it on their story. One girl I vividly remember, word for word, she said, "Wow, people are so disgusting." We were having the time of our lives. It was the funniest shit we have ever done. Now this is where it all goes wrong. When you log into a Google account, your IP address is shown with the exact login. So let's say you have an iPhone 15. It will say iPhone 15. It will say the name of the person that has the iPhone, and then it will also have their IP address. So my man's asked me, he's like, yo, you think we should change the password to the account? I don't know what I was thinking, but I said, nah, we don't have to. Just as a safety precaution, off rip, we should have changed the password, but we didn't. And fuck. So not even a day passes, and my parents come home, you know, everything's good. And around 7 p.m., my parents call me downstairs. They tell me that the school called and they're making very serious allegations. So off rip, I know exactly what they're talking about. But I just start laughing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Keep in mind, my heart is now bumping out of my ass. I'm scared as hell. So my parents explained to me what the school is saying I did. And I'm like, is this a joke? Like, does that even sound like something I would do? Now I feel bad because I don't like lying to my parents, but I could not come clean and say what I did. So they tell me that I have a meeting with the school that I have to go to tomorrow. Now look, this video getting mad long, so if y'all want a part 2, let me know if y'all want a part 2.
If you haven't seen the first part of this story time, go to my page and watch the first part right now. Alright, so on the last part, we left off at me going to this school meeting. So it was early in the morning, you feel me? So I had to wake up and actually get out of bed. I put on some khaki pants, I had a collar t-shirt. I'm pretty sure I wore the glasses too to look more professional. Pulled up just like this, like I was going to court. So I go there, it's just me and my mom, right? So we walk in there. There's a superintendent there. They got a constable there. They got the vice principal, assistant principal, the main principal. Everybody's there. So I walk in, they're just questioning me. Like, they're trying to break me down. Now, look, when I logged into this account, I didn't use a VPN, but I turned my Wi-Fi off. So, yes, my name was attached to it. But a name is just a name. Because I logged in using my data, the VPN there was different from my Wi-Fi's VPN. So lock in with what I'm saying. I don't want to lose you guys. I'm going to re-explain it. So because I use a school Chromebook, the school automatically knows what my IP address is. So if I went on my Wi-Fi and then logged into the account, the two IP addresses would match. But because I use my data, they did not match. So they don't have any technical proof that I did this. So I go in there knowing all I have to do is deny. They have no proof. So they're throwing out all of these stuff. They're saying, yeah, if we find out that you did this, there will be charges. Expulsion is on the table. So I'm sticking with my word. I'm telling them I did not do this. I don't know why my name is there. Because me and my mans did this together, he also had to go to the school and have a meeting with them. So for my mans, he didn't have data at the time and he didn't use a VPN. He used his Wi-Fi. So when we were plotting together, I told him there's no way out of this for you. If you go in there and lie, they can match up your IP address. So he goes and takes responsibility, but he didn't take full responsibility. He basically said, I played the porn, but I don't know who was doing the other stuff. So he didn't rat on me, but who else would have done it? You see what I'm saying? But they still had no proof that I did anything. And he was staying solid. He wasn't saying that I did it. So yes, I got off of this. I did not get in trouble for this. But something else ended up happening. So basically, there was this student teacher from my English class, and she was very heavy on us participating in class. So on Google Meets, there was a button that you could press. It was a virtual hand raiser. So you just press it, and it's just essentially raising your hand. So she would constantly tell us to use this feature. And every time she would speak, I would just mutter under my breath, shut the fuck up, nigga. And for whatever reason, my mic unmuted, and she heard me say it. So me, this is muscle memory. I always say this. I say it every single time we're in class. So the teacher says, oh my God, this language kicks me out. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What? Heart beating fast as shit. I'm like, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way. So I email her off rip, all right? Now I'm so stupid. I don't know what was going through my brain. I emailed her and told her I didn't cuss. Maybe you heard me wrong. If I just said I was on the phone, or if I said I was on a video game, maybe she just would have been like, all right, it's okay. But I tried to make it seem like she was going crazy. So the teacher ends up calling my mother and tells her about what happened. And now look, I'm African, all right? My parents, they're African. They don't do that cussing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do not want me cussing. So I'm still capping. I'm like, yo, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. All right, I'm about to do a part 3. I'm sorry. I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but I'm gonna actually post it right now. So according to my calculations, this should be the last part. So on the last part, we left off at them calling my mother. And I'm just trying to tell my mom, I'm like, they might have heard me wrong. They might have heard me wrong. Now, usually this would not be a big thing at all, but word is going around about me facing the allegations of cussing at people and using derogatory terms in the chat. So when the principals catch wind of this, they're on hots immediately. They're trying to figure out everything they can about this situation. So not every single Google Meet is recorded, but during lessons, they record the Google Meets so that people could go back and watch the lesson if they were absent for the Google Meet. And yep, they caught me on video. So for whatever reason, technology was trash and this video was locked. Like nobody could access it for a while. So I thought that I was gonna be able to get away with this. But eventually they got it working and then they played the video back. I couldn't stop lying. Like I was actually stuck in a loop of lying. They had me in clear audio saying, shut the fuck up, nigga. And I still said I didn't say it. Like for the life of me, I just could not admit any wrongdoing. So even though they didn't have any proof, they jumped on this immediately. I was making them all look like fools. So they were happy as hell when I slipped up. So I got suspended for Google Meets for 5 days. Now the 5 days, that was nothing. Like they were doing me a favor. But goddamn, I got everything took from me. Like no funny shit, bro. Niggas did not hear from me for like the next like 5 months. Now I still had my Chromebook because I had to do my schoolwork. So during this time, bro, I was watching hella anime. I was doing whatever. So I wasn't fully grounded, you know. I was still able to enjoy myself somewhat. But I had no contact with people, couldn't play no games. And I also had to sneak around because my parents were constantly checking on me. So then even when we went back to in-person school, I was still grounded. So we get back into school, niggas is like, yo, bro, what happened? Oh my God, this, that, and the third. I'm not going for none of that, bro. I'm not trying to talk to niggas about this situation. I'm still lying. I'm still saying I ain't do shit. Because if I go around flaunting this shit, then that would get back to administration. I know they still want to take me down. So I was just deny, but I graduated now, so this shit don't matter. But yeah, during this whole experience, my manipulation badges actually like grew exponentially. Like, I became a demon. So this shit was definitely necessary for character development. You know, I feel like my character developed greatly during this time. Yeah, I didn't end up getting grounded till 18. I got ungrounded like a year and a half later. Yeah, shit was messed up for a while. My parents were mad as hell at me. It was weird vibes. But what I want you guys to get out of this is just to be smart. Don't do stupid shit. And think before you do anything. This whole situation could have been completely avoided. I feel like everything happens for a reason, so I have no regrets, you know? I'd probably be a completely different person if that situation never happened. There was a lot more stuff that we did on these Google Meets, but this is just what got us caught. They didn't even find out the other stuff that we did, so let me know if y'all want story times on that too. So look, y'all, this is a follow-up to the Google Meet story time. A lot of you guys were asking, what happened to your friend that did this with you? So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, definitely go to my page, check out the story times, and then come back to this video. Man, my friend got the worst of it. So my friend got suspended for 12 days. Not only that, he also got fined like $500, I think, and he also had to do community service. So his community service was essentially going around the school and just cleaning up everything. So he had to like vacuum our auditorium, broom the floors, mop the cafeteria. It was just a bunch of bullshit. But to top it all off, he also got grounded like me. So this guy had 0 electronics. And to make it even worse, people who knew nothing about the situation were labeling him as a rat. And it's like people just want to believe what they want to believe. Like, I'm telling them, nah, he kept it solid, he kept it 100. They're like, nah, you just saying that. What do you mean, nah, you just saying that? Why would I try to defend somebody who ratted on me? Also, so a lot of y'all are interested in more of what we were doing, so I'm gonna get those story times out for you guys. But look, y'all, I'm in college and I also work full time, you feel me? So I'm gonna try to get it out when I can. You know what I'm saying? We impersonated our principal. We made one of the teachers quit. It's a lot of stuff that we could go over. So I'm gonna get them out for you, definitely. Look, I ain't got shit else to say, but I got a little promo, man. We be live on Twitch and shit. If y'all think I'm entertaining, pull up there. I do the same thing I do on TikTok on Twitch. I also got a Discord. We got a small little community, man. We starting to go up, so be a part of it now. Pull up. Alright, y'all, this is part 1 of the extended Google Meet cinematic universe. Man, if you're not caught up with the lore of this universe, go back to the other parts. Watch them right now. But this part is going to be about how me and my mans became the heroes of online school. So the main topic of this story is going to be about booting offline. Now, some of you may already know what booting offline is, but for anybody who doesn't know, it's basically just shutting off somebody's Wi-Fi. And the way you do it is using an IP address. Alright, now that we got that explained, let's start at the beginning. So this is this class that me and my friend take together. Now this is one of those teachers that were cool as hell in person, but online he was just annoying. Always trying to make us participate, cameras on, faces in the camera the entire time, and he would just randomly pick on people to answer questions. And there's a lot of times that he would choose me and my friend to answer questions, and we have no idea what's going on. So one day we're just like, bro, we gotta do something about this. This has to stop. So even though we're doing online school, only the students are online during this time. The teachers still have to actually go into the school, so they are on the school Wi-Fi. So this is when we decided, yo, we could just boot the school offline. So the way we do this is we contact somebody that we know, and this person that we know lives right across from the school. So for a school, there's a lot of devices that have to be on the school's Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi signal is pretty strong. So from his house, the Wi-Fi can connect to his phone. And once you connect to the Wi-Fi, you could go into your settings and the IP address is right there. So for the actual process of booting online, you could literally just search up any website about booting and then you could just put in the IP address and boot them off. You don't even have to pay. So me and my friend, we get like 10 different booting websites and we wait till we go into the class. So the teacher is taking attendance, okay? And for you to be marked present in class, you have to unmute your mic and say that you're here. So while he's doing attendance, we just boot the hell out of the school's Wi-Fi. Like we're volleying it. So his screen freezes during the attendance. And me and my mans are on the phone while all of this is happening. We're just laughing our ass off. We did it. He's done. Because the websites we were using were free, we could only boot the school offline for 3 minutes maximum. But we could just spam that 3 minutes over and over again. So after the 3 minutes, he joined back. And you know what? We booted him off again. But look, because every single teacher is in the school doing online, it's not only booting him offline, it's booting every single other teacher that's on the Wi-Fi offline. So we just kept on doing this so that the class would get canceled. Little did we know, we just got school canceled for the rest of the day. I ended up sending an email to everybody saying that due to Wi-Fi issues, school was canceled. So now we just realized we had a no school method. So the next day, we come in with a plan. Right at the start of the day, we're hitting the school offline. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. We just keep on going.
Man, so unfortunately, this is where the fun ends. So instead of canceling school again, they just told the teachers to go home. So then the teachers just ended up teaching the lessons from their home. Now, they did end up going back to the school, but I'm not gonna lie, man, there are some technological geniuses in this world. We end up trying to boot them offline again, but they set up some crazy firewall. Like, I don't know what they did, but the school became unbootable. But look, that's the end of that. But there's still a lot more, man. So in the next part of the extended Google Meet cinematic universe, we will be talking about how we impersonated our principal. Alright, y'all, this is part 1 of the extended Google Meet cinematic universe. Man, if you're not caught up with the lore of this universe, go back to the other parts. Watch them right now. But this part is going to be about how me and my mans became the heroes of online school. So the main topic of this story is going to be about booting offline. Now, some of you may already know what booting offline is, but for anybody who doesn't know, it's basically just shutting off somebody's Wi-Fi. And the way you do it is using an IP address. Alright, now that we got that explained, let's start at the beginning. So this is this class that me and my friend take together. Now this is one of those teachers that were cool as hell in person, but online he was just annoying. Always trying to make us participate, cameras on, faces in the camera the entire time, and he would just randomly pick on people to answer questions. And there's a lot of times that he would choose me and my friend to answer questions, and we have no idea what's going on. So one day we're just like, bro, we gotta do something about this. This has to stop. So even though we're doing online school, only the students are online during this time. The teachers still have to actually go into the school, so they are on the school Wi-Fi. So this is when we decided, yo, we could just boot the school offline. So the way we do this is we contact somebody that we know. And this person that we know lives right across from the school. So for a school, there's a lot of devices that have to be on the school's Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi signal is pretty strong. So from his house, the Wi-Fi can connect to his phone. And once you connect to the Wi-Fi, you could go into your settings and the IP address is right there. So for the actual process of booting online, you could literally just search up any website about booting and then you could just put in the IP address and boot them off. You don't even have to pay. So me and my friend, we get like 10 different booting websites and we wait till we go into the class. So the teacher is taking attendance, okay? And for you to be marked present in class, you have to unmute your mic and say that you're here. So while he's doing attendance, we just boot the hell out of the school's Wi-Fi. Like we're volleying it. So his screen freezes during the attendance. And me and my mans are on the phone while all of this is happening and we're just laughing our ass off. We did it. He's done. Because the websites we were using were free, we could only boot the school offline for 3 minutes maximum. But we could just spam that 3 minutes over and over again. So after the 3 minutes, he joined back. And you know what? We booted him off again. But look, because every single teacher is in the school doing online, it's not only booting him offline, it's booting every single other teacher that's on the Wi-Fi offline. So we just kept on doing this so that the class would get canceled. Little did we know, we just got school canceled for the rest of the day. I ended up sending an email to everybody saying that due to Wi-Fi issues, school was canceled. So now we just realized we had a no school method. So the next day, we come in with a plan. Right at the start of the day, we're hitting the school offline. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. We just keep on going. Man, so unfortunately, this is where the fun ends. So instead of canceling school again, they just told the teachers to go home. So then the teachers just ended up teaching the lessons from their home. Now, they did end up going back to the school. But I'm not gonna lie, man, there are some technological geniuses in this world. We end up trying to boot them offline again, but they set up some crazy firewall. Like, I don't know what they did, but the school became unbootable. But look, that's the end of that. But there's still a lot more, man. So in the next part of the extended Google Meet cinematic universe, we will be talking about how we impersonated our principal. Alright, man, on this part of the extended GMCU, we're gonna be talking about how me and my mans impersonated our principal. Look, y'all, we only got one major arc left in this saga. So the Google Meet saga would be unfortunately coming to an end soon. But look, let's just get into the story, alright? So like every other online meeting, Google Meets have a designated code. And this code could be shared with anybody, okay? But the only way you could join the Google Meet is if you have an email that is associated with the school. If you don't, you cannot join, but it puts in a request to the teacher to let you join. Now, I don't even remember how me and my friend figured this out, but we figured it out. So once we realized this, a whole new world opened up. So it just starts off with making random ass emails with random names and random profile pictures. I won't get into too much detail, but for one specific account, we created a random email and then we had Lana Rose as the profile picture. Now, because the request pops up on the teacher's screen, we would only do it when they're presenting stuff. So one day, one of our teachers was presenting and then a random email with Lana Rose's ass popped up on the screen. That shit was peak comedy. But look, as we're doing this, we're realizing, yo,
we can make an email with our principal's name and join that. So we get this account created and we wait for the next day of online school. So now we get to the first class and we put in a request as our principal. Man, this unfolded beautifully. So the teacher we do it to says, guys, can you put your faces in the camera? The principal is requesting to join the Google Meet and we gotta make sure everything's okay. So then she accepts us into the Google Meet. So me and my friend are laughing our ass off. We really feel like evil geniuses. Who do you know doing this? So after we run the test phase, we go on to our next. So if you don't know, in Google Meets, they have this thing called a breakout room. So we wait towards the end of the online class ending, and then we request to join. So what we do is we type in the chat and we say, hey, can you put me and this girl in a breakout room? So obviously the girl and the teacher both think that this is the principal. So the teacher puts us and this girl in a breakout room alone. Now look, y'all, it doesn't really get too crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now we really could have done something diabolical, but we decided against it. So what we did when we got in the room with her, we asked her, do you know why you're here? She said probably because I haven't been going to class. Now we didn't even know that, but we just piggybacked off of what she said. We were thinking about threatening her with a punishment, okay? And then saying some shit like, oh, if you pull out your titties, then nothing will happen. Now we weren't doing it expecting her to do this. This would have been to mess with the principal. He would have been done for. He's getting reported immediately. But we decided, if this could somehow, some way, in any way, shape, or form get back to us, we are done for. So we just left it at that. We said, all right, just start getting to class and, don't let me see you skipping again. But yeah, this ended up getting back to the principal. Now, he didn't find out that we did this, and this was also before the original events of the Google Meets universe. So it's not like we're under suspicion for anything. Because if we did this after the fact, they definitely would have assumed it was us. They made an all call to everybody in the school district, letting them know that somebody was impersonating the principal and not to accept anybody in the Google Meets. That's really it. So make sure y'all stay tuned because tomorrow we got the final part of the Google Meet saga.